What's happening, fam? L.A.R movement still moving. Book is entitled Lessons from a Non-Custodial Father. It's at Amazon Kindle and Create Space. A link will be in the description box below as usual. Title is The Modern Day Woman's a Polygamist. So I'm clowning with my homegirl yesterday about polygamy. And I was like, let's switch this around because if guys are considered polygamists in this society because we're just, using multiple women for sex. That's just pretty much the premise. Even guys patting each other on the back if they get multiple women to have sex with them. So I said, and women don't like that because they don't want to compete with other women, and they're probably not getting anything. They feel like they're not getting anything out of it, but just giving their bodies because of the lack of men available. Because I didn't notice until yesterday, listening to BGS when he was talking about, the white population, they have more men, they have more females than men also. So they're at a shortage too, which helps polygamy, just like in our community, right? And then we're not talking about quality. So let's get into the flip side. I was like, well, hell, I just wanted to be a dick about it and say, look, women practice polygamy all the time. They've been practicing it for a long time. It's like, what? I said, think about it. Women got a guy for money, a guy for sex, a guy for events, dates, a guy for attention, and then a guy to listen to all their problems, right? So those are five different relationships. Now, women have a problem with men having five different relationships, even if they were non-sexual, because they would call that cheating, emotional cheating, right? So I'm like, well, y'all are in different polygamous relationships, and most of those polygamous relationships involve fucking. Now, so I'm clowning with her, and I'm joking. I said, well, let's run through this. So I'm gonna run through it like I'm running, like I was doing it yesterday, right? So like first and foremost, you got the guy with the money, right? So you want dollars from him, and that's your sugar daddy. Normally old, but from old to young, or older than you, right? So you call him up because you always want to get something from him. You always know you got money waiting on you, right? Money, money, money. So with all this money you keep asking this guy for, you basically becoming a prostitute because this is your first form of prostitution. So you know he ain't giving you the money for nothing. So eventually you having sex with the guy, and that's your that's relationship a relationship. So for right now, that's relationship number one. So you're in that relationship. Now you got the guy who you're actually attracted to. Doesn't have to have money. That's just the guy you like. The brothers talk about imprinting. Whether it be BGS, Rhyme Wills, I think Warren Lance talks a little bit about it. Those type of brothers. I think Black Ram talks about it. But they talk about imprinting solo too, solo TV 84. And what happens is he doesn't need to do anything but show up because that's who she's attracted to. That's who she has a sexual connection with. That's who she has quote unquote chemistry with, right? So whether that be his body type, the way he dresses, you know, whether he's tall, muscular, that type of stuff, whatever it is, skin tone, whatever it turns her on. So um, she's with that guy. She's having sex with that guy. So that's two relationships, right? Mind you, the sex guy is probably not looking for a relationship per se, and the sugar daddy is probably not looking for a relationship per se. So this is a fair exchange to a degree, but it's polygamy in relationships nonetheless because it's multiple relationships. So then you got the guy for events, which I mean the guy that you're dating, right? Or the guys that you're dating, because this is where it gets tricky. because this is where some of you ladies could be dinner whores with you going out with multiple guys on multiple dates, and some of you guys don't understand that because you might be having a good time with her, but she keeps asking to go with more and more places. She was never intending to commit or to date you or to get to know you. You're just like a stopgap for free events, and if she can get you, she can get somebody else. So she might have multiple guys that she's actually quote unquote dating, right? So multiple guys taking her out to dinner, multiple guys taking her out to concerts, to comedy shows, to just um, events, walks in the parks, even the fun stuff like the laser tag, the go kart, the batting cage, the miniature golf, the walk in the park, maybe the food truck day. I'm just throwing shit out there, right? The art, like art galleries, you that dude, but it's not looked at it as a polygamous relationship because one or a few of those guys gonna hit it. The intention is to string them along long enough to not and to move on before they hit it, but eventually, the night's gonna be right, the drink's gonna be nice, the dude's gonna be cool. He took you on enough dates, and you gonna slip up. So one of these event guys is gonna hit it. So then you're in three relationships, and that's why it's not like looked at as like quote unquote polygamy, like real, because when you get to the dating, the switch out of men seems like it doesn't count, but that shit counts. So then let's move on. Now you got attention. You got your guy for attention. So now this is your social media. Social, whatever. This is your social media, right? These are your internet daters, your Tinder, your Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat. These the DM and thirst trap. The thirst trap setting in the DM receiving. You're not necessarily in a relationship, in a committed relationship, but you committed to money in exchange for sex with the sugar daddy. You're committed to sex in exchange for sex from the guy who turns you on. You're committed to getting your dates out from the guys that want to take you out, which is kind of in unison with the attention guys, because you're gonna get the dating pool you're gonna be dating and running it through and in and out of comes from this attention pool. People trying to holler at you online, people trying to hit you in your DM, that type of thing. So you getting your attention fixed. That's why these girls never quote unquote get off of these sites, because they really never choose anybody, because they're in polygamous relationships. They're getting their needs met 5 different ways. So now that's why she'll tell you have to do something spectacular to get her attention, because her attention meter is on full. Everybody's saying, "Hey, beautiful, what's up? You look sexy. Can I take you out? Ooh, you the finest little thing I've never seen in my life, girl." And then she feeling herself. Her head is gassed up, extra full. Over the F, just over the F, and it stays there. So that's why some of these girls, feel they're more attractive than they are, and they don't think they hit the wall when they did, because guess what? Their attention was met. So that's their attention relationship. But once again, those attention relationships, sometimes lead to sexual relationships, because sometimes you make a move. Somebody shoot their shot right, and that quick internet attention goes to quick internet ass. So then you're in that relationship. That's another polygamous relationship that eventually you wind up having sex with. Guys know what I'm talking about. Girls try to ignore it, but it happens. That's why the numbers is always off, because you got to be specific with women. Now, then the fifth polygamous relationship is the friend zone dude, right? The one that listens to all her problems. He's orbiting because in some ways he doesn't. He could just be a friend. I'll be honest with you. He could just be a friend who actually is either in relationships, or just a bachelor who's talking to other women who just doesn't talk to that particular woman. So that does exist. But, you know, but ultimately he's going to be viewed as a guy who's just orbiting around this chick for his chance to hit it. And he'll be orbiting for years in everybody's eyes and scenario. So you wind up having this guy who listens to all these simping friend zone problems because she's not really, because nobody's really going to take her serious. Like the sugar daddy can't take her seriously because she's a prostitute. The sex dude ain't gonna take her seriously because all she brought to the table was sex. So why would he want a relationship? She's just a side piece, right? Um, the 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 dating guys don't take her seriously because she just always wants to do shit on their dime, and she never reciprocates because she gives her attention or gets her attention fulfilled from the attention guys. But because of all of this selfishness, she's still alone. So, and she goes through the up and downs of having bad dates and bad interactions and people telling her about herself and her playing the victim and, her reaping what she sows by using everybody, right? So now the friend zone guy is dealing with the mental aspect. He's the free therapist. Now he's the one that's probably going to get sex the least out of this equation if he gets sex from this particular girl. Normally he probably gets sex from this particular girl if he's in a relationship because then she's going to fight for his attention by trying to fuck him while he has a girlfriend, if it goes that far. That's how he'll wind up getting sex with her. But other than that, nah. So at the end of the day, that's a fifth relationship. So when the guys are walking around like we got polygamy running around here, y'all just screwing and screwing and screwing. I was like, yeah, that's true. But the problem with that is female polygamy is a whole lot more structured and staggered because you're getting your needs met 5 out of 5 ways, and you're gonna wind up having sex with four of those 5 groups of guys. So you still in sexual relationships, but you're getting money from one, sex from one, attention from one, free a free lifestyle from another, and therapy from another, and you're gonna wind up screwing damn near that whole group of guys. So you still a polygamist, and ultimately, you know, it digs these girls and dig a deeper hole because women aren't good at being polygamous. So they wind up by themselves. But it does happen. But they do practice polygamy. That's all I'm saying. Peace.